What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Justice League #1 review. So if you are new to the channel, please do consider leaving a like and subscribe down below. I have had some previous videos which you might want to check out, such as the leaked images for Avengers 4, some discussion about the Mystery Girl on The Flash and the upcoming Flash Season 5, and a review on Westworld. So you can go and check that out on the channel. But first, we've got Justice League #1. So funnily enough, if you have been watching my Flash videos, you would have seen me talk about the Mystery Girl, Nora Allen, on the Flash Season 5, and I discussed, I'll admit, I went on a tangent. I went on a rant about the Justice League in DC Rebirth and how absolutely awful the Justice League was. Now, I stopped reading it for quite a while. I just had too much of it. I started reading around the time of Christopher Priest taking it over for a bit, but that storyline was just a bit dull, and for me, I just was not into it, even though Deathstroke got involved, and I love my Deathstroke. But Justice League #1 here has a new writer, with that being Scott Snyder, who, well, if you know who he is if you're reading comics. You know, he's the guy who took over the reins of Batman in New 52. He is the architect of Dark Knight's Metal, which is behind me somewhere. There it is, just a sneaky little issue there. And, well, this is it. So what I'm doing here is creating a video on Justice League #1. Obviously, that's the title. But what I do with my comic reviews here is the fact that I do videos when there's good jumping on points, when there are huge things going on, such as Secret Empire. Yeah, less said about that, the better. But this is a brand new jumping on point. So if you're interested in comics, if you are highly interested in reading comics, you can jump on here with Justice League #1. So there is quite a bit of pre-reading that you may need to do, but I don't think you really need to do it at all. The Dark Knight's Metal, the huge basis of that was the fact that they fought beings from the dark multiverse, which are the kind of growing worlds which were ready to be destroyed, but spoilers, they didn't get destroyed, and they invaded our universe, our multiverse. So what we had to have was some absolute crazy shenanigans, but that led to the destruction of the Source Wall, which is, well, one of the biggest parts of the DC cosmic universe. That has been destroyed, and now crazy things are coming through that Source Wall, which should not be in our multiverse whatsoever. The first being the Omega Titans. After that, after Dark Knight's Metal, this led to Justice League No Justice, which set up the idea that Lex Luthor is now evil. He has been somewhat of a hero for quite some time in New 52 and DC Rebirth, and now DC Universe, I guess, which makes sense because we're getting quite a lot of cosmic stuff. So this sets this up. So at the end of No Justice, we had our brand new Justice League formed, with John Johns, the Martian Manhunter, being the leader. And of course, the big thing at the end of Dark Knight's Metal was the new Hall of Justice being made. So in this comic, we do see some big things. We do some big things with the Hall of Justice being open to everyone. So every single hero is open to the Justice League. We have a core team so we have Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Superman, Aquaman, The Flash. We have John Stewart of the Green Lantern, but I think that what's hinting at this is the fact that we're getting two versions of the Green Lantern. So we're getting Hal Jordan and John Stewart switching the duties. And we have Kendra, Hawkgirl as well. We have Hawkman, and because he was quite a big thing with Dark Knight's Metal as well. So there's quite a lot going on here, and, well, the writing, now, I will say that there was some criticism, I had some criticism for Justice League No Justice, because it got too big, it got too convoluted. Parts of Dark Knight's Metal got too convoluted. And I feel like sometimes Scott Snyder needs to be a bit reined in just a tad. He's had his fun with everything that happened with Batman. We had him on All-Star Batman, and he's been handed the cosmic reins here for everything. So we see some great stuff in this. We see the new logo, which is there. We got the logo of the Justice League. And, well, the Justice League have been formed they've been formed, and now they're fighting crazy things. We have a whole thing with the moon possibly being destroyed. Vandal Savage wanted to destroy the entirety of the Earth, or at least push it out of orbit to make way for something else. Now, this new being, this huge threat, is called the Totality. The Totality has come to Earth, or at least come to our multiverse, and the heroes are not sure what to actually do with it. These huge threats are coming, and our universe is dying. So our multiverse is dying. It's on its last legs, and John Johns will be at the end of everything. So we need to work out a way to actually stop this from ever happening. Now, this isn't going to be it's no easy feat for the team, because we've got the Legion of Doom, who have been formed inside the brand new DC universe. So they are back. They are led seemingly by the Joker and Lex Luthor. We've got Grodd, we've got Black Manta, and their first course of action was imprisoning Vandal Savage. So they've taken him down, and there's a brand new lock and key thing, this new key, which is the key to opening up this Totality and harnessing this for their own good. What do they want with it? Now, Lex Luthor is convinced that he's a hero, but I think over time, as we saw in Justice League No Justice, I think he's going to think that these heroes need to be stopped because they're causing all kinds of trouble. And the reason why everything happened, the reason why all of this has happened, is because of the heroes. We had as well the Dark Multiverse. The incursion was the cause was Batman. No Justice was the cause by the heroes. The whole planet of Kolu was destroyed because of these heroes. So I think that he's going to take on this very anti-Superman, very anti sort of everything, I would say, anti anything to do with heroes. Of course, over in Doomsday Clock, we've got a Lex Luthor who is curious, and that is kind of a jump ahead. So I think that this is a time where Lex Luthor has led this charge against the heroes. He's led this Superman theory. He's led the whole thing against Batman. He really is going to start this Legion of Doom and conspire to actually turn everyone against these heroes so they can go away and stop causing all these problems. So that's quite a good take on this. That's my theory on just where this is going to go. So I think this works really, really well. The whole issue is great. It's pretty much told from Martian Manhunter, someone who I personally have not actually had much kind of history with. I've never really been a big fan of him. The most kind of contact I've had with the Justice League animated series and Supergirl. Funnily enough, this is the Justice League animated series lineup. So we're getting something from my childhood. Scott Snyder's taken something from something which works. Because Justice League, the comic, hasn't worked for quite some time. It's been boring, pointless. The stories have had no gravitas. They've had no consequences to the wider DC universe. It's kind of insular, and you're thinking, what's the point of reading this if it doesn't affect anything else? It's a complete and utter waste of time because the stories aren't that good and really has no impact on anything else. And considering the fact that, well, all the stories have led up to this have all fed into massive publisher-wide initiatives, and we've had teams like the Terrifics come out of Dark Knight's Metal, well, that says a lot for this book, that it's going to have a lot of stuff going on. The artwork is really, really good as well. Of course, Jim Chung is here making his debut in DC, making his, well, recent debut there. So it's pretty good. I really did enjoy this issue. I have to say it was a lot of fun. A real good read. Now, there are some big things to talk about just at the end of this. So I'm obviously going to pick up the rest of these issues. Might do reviews on them. I might not, depending if something big happens. I've stuck with the Doomsday Clock ones because they're going to be big. These are big points which are moving forward. And the whole of the DC universe is going to move forward with Doomsday Clock. But this has incredibly big similarities to Avengers. In Avengers, they're fighting the Celestials that have fallen to Earth and these brand new incursion level people with huge Celestials that have come in. And this was all set up and predicted many, many years ago when, funnily enough, at the start of this issue, we see Kamadi, we see the new gods, we see many many other people. We've got Our Man. We've got crazy things going on here. And, well, that's what happened at the start of Marvel Legacy #1, when we saw previous iterations of the heroes and people in the past fighting or predicting the same beings. So what is going on? It's basically the same story with, at the moment, one issue in, Justice League is just itching it away from Avengers. But, well, Avengers has been fun. And there's a hell of a lot of Marvel #1s today, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to review them because I just don't have the time. But you can get my reviews on them over on my Instagram, which is @Superheronexus, and my Twitter @Superheronexus as well. So you can go and check that out. This book, if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. Go and read it. It's fucking so good. So I'll see you soon, and goodbye.